Hey guys, welcome to Panorama Mountain Resorts. I first arrived in Invermere in October. I drove all the way from Ottawa to Panorama. I took a few days to do this trip and visited every province I drove through. The whole drive took 42 hours total. I decided to do the trip in 7 days. I went from Ottawa to Kapuskasing, which was 9 hours and 20 minutes, then to Thunder Bay. I then went to Winnipeg, then Moose Jaw, Lethbridge, and then I stopped in Nelson. In Nelson, I spent a few days to visit friends and pick up some things I'd left behind. Driving across Canada alone was quite the fun experience. Splitting it up in multiple days made it much easier and enjoyable. The first day I arrived in Invermere, it was a warm, sunny day. I immediately went down to the beach and took in the amazing views of the lake. Here you can see the lakefront on the video. Because I got hired as a snowmaker, Panorama ensures that we receive staff accommodation, plus, because of our odd hours, we receive single rooms with our own bed. The move-in process is very simple. The residence coordinator sent us a detailed email with information on where to go when we first arrive. The CCI building is the first place I went when I arrived at the hill. They took my information, gave me my key for my room. Very simple move-in process in my opinion. Especially after traveling for such a long distance, all I wanted to do is sleep in my new home for the season. The key room also gives access to the amazing hot pools at the springs, as well as access to the gym and hot tub at the Pine Inn. Panorama's staff accommodations are located 10 minutes walk to the hill. I personally found the staff accommodations better than the ones I stayed at in Whistler last year, for the simple reason that I wasn't stuck in a bunk bed. The rooms hold 4 people, each with individual single beds. Here's a little tour of these facilities. The great thing of being in staff accommodation is getting to meet the people you'll be working with before the season starts. The rooms are spacious and comfortable. The kitchen is equipped with pots and pans, oven, fridge, and an additional freezer. We also get equipped with dish soap, toilet paper, and other cleaning products. This reduced the cost of living. Now here's a little tour of my unit. There's a laundry room located at the bottom of the building. They are coin-operated machines. Also down here you'll find the locker room where you can store tires and other belongings. Beside is a common room. This is where they encourage you to have gatherings, rather than in people's units. You will find many sofas, games, movies, and a TV. There are many fun activities to do around staff accommodation, like basketball and soccer. There's a big field in front of the staffies. We played a lot of soccer before the snow came and after the season. Playing sports is a great way to socialize with your new coworkers. The fire pit is another big attraction for people in staffies. This is a great place to have a few drinks after work, relax, and enjoy the stars and beautiful mountain that surrounds our building. We are provided with wood, making it very convenient to have fires. All they ask is that we follow the fire pit rules and keep the fire contained. Behind the pit lays a beautiful forest with many trails that lead down to Toby Creek, the same creek we pull our water of for snowmaking. We started training week for snowmaking on October 17th. The training was very thorough. They brought equipment inside to get us familiar with names and the use of this equipment. Felt like I was in snowmaking class all over again. Halfway through training week, we went up on the hill to get familiar with runs and the key snowmaking locations like PS200, the pump house, the cat shop, Mickey's hut. This Mickey's hut is where we stayed for long periods of times over making snow on the upper mountain. We also looked at all types of snow guns, from McKinney towers to big fan guns. During the week of training, we also received our snowmaking uniform. They provided us with jackets, snow pants, gloves, headlamps, as well as earplugs. In my opinion, the outerwear was a bit dated. They weren't very waterproof anymore, and a lot of them had holes. This made snowmaking very uncomfortable at times. But that's snowmaking. Sometimes it's the best job in the world, and sometimes it's the worst. The team contained of 5 returned snowmakers who were foremen or supervisors and 25 new ones. Most of the team were Australians, Brits, Kiwis, and a few Canadians. I found our crew to get along together quite well. The team was mostly in the same age group, from mid-20s to 30s. Most of them lived in Staffacom. Knowing each other before work started make work even easier and more fun. After having an amazing snowmaking season, finishing in record times for Panorama, I was excited to move on to the next thing. Luckily, I proved myself during snowmaking season by working hard and received one of the two terrain park positions. Ryan Croker, my boss, told me he doesn't pick the best skiers or boarder for these positions. He picks the guys who've worked the hardest during snowmaking. Our boss also bought new terrain park jackets. This was a big upgrade from the old snowmaking jackets. I was very happy to get this position. After all, terrain parks is still my true passion, and it was my goal to be in a park crew this year. When we came during our SROAM trip 2 years ago at Panorama, the park here was pretty bad and sketchy, but luckily Brian Croker came to Panorama. While doing builds with him, I saw the true skills he has driving a snowcat. Brian has owned his own company where he would get contract building terrain parks all around the world. He's been building parks longer than I've been skiing. Before working for Panorama, Croker was in charge of the Lake Louise Terrain Park and Grooming Department. Brian is one of the most positive and fun boss I've ever worked for. He makes going to work fun every day. I believe having a good boss makes a big difference for your work environment and happiness. Having such a small park crew is definitely a big challenge. Earlier on in the season, when the park consisted of only a few basic features at the bottom of the Mile 1 lift, the workdays were pretty easy, even on days where there was only one park ranger scheduled. The build was quite easy for this park since the features were easy to move with the snowcat and also very easy to set. But we quickly moved on to our second build. This was located on Eagle Glide, a run beside the Toby chair. This is where we installed our beginner park. The features in this park are sized from small to medium. It is where all the mini shredders would go to have fun. Eagle Glide is our progression park. It has 13 features during the year, including 5 small to medium jumps and a combination of rail and boxes. Plus, this park is very hidden and can't